Hello everyone, my name is Wes Sego, and this is PMA3 Term 1211, Message in a Bottle. Going to talk a little bit about time management and some of the things that I do that have helped me out tremendously. The first thing I'd like to say is don't put anything off. Most of your assignments are going to be due on Thursday. Don't wait until Wednesday to get started. You want to start this stuff as soon as you possibly can. What's been very helpful for me is to try to work a little bit every day. Don't, you know, I work full time. I have a family. Everyone's really supportive, but you've got to find that time to get this done. And it's real easy to say, well, I'll, dedicate both of my days off in a week to working on this, but you're going to be much more successful if you can maybe work for a few minutes every day, keep things fresh in your mind, keep going over them. But getting back to what I do specifically that I think has been very helpful, I try to watch all of my videos on Sunday rather than watch a video and work through that video. I try to just watch them all up front and then maybe go back and work with the videos as I'm watching them individually a second time. That's been something that's really helped me a lot. Again, don't wait until the last minute. That's going to be your most important, piece of advice that I can give you. If you procrastinate, it's going to bite you, and it's going to do it every time. As far as advice that I would give myself if I were starting this over 4 to 8 months ago, I think that everyone gets a subscription to lynda.com, and it would be very helpful if you watch the videos on Introduction to Programming, watch the HTML, watch the CSS, watch the JavaScript videos, watch the videos on GitHub. Spend the time learning a little bit about these things. You don't have to master it, just watch those videos so that it is fresh in your mind, and it is something that you at least have some exposure to before you get to it. JavaScript's going to be the biggest thing. That's the first block that you're going to go through. So you're going to want to concentrate a lot of your time on that, your extra time, while you're doing your other studies. Get is something that I would definitely recommend that you put the time in. It's not the most difficult thing in the world to master, but in every class I see it repeatedly where people really don't have a good understanding. It's something that is more of a necessary evil to them. So rather than use it as a tool, it winds up being something that is kind of a thorn in their side. So if you'll spend an afternoon, 4 to 8 hours is all you need to put towards that, you can really get an understanding of how it works, what it will do for you, and it truly will become a tool that you can use that will help you to be more productive in your programming rather than, something that you kind of have to grit your teeth and say, all right, I got to do this part. This is the last part, because that's really not what it's about. The last thing I'll talk a little bit about JavaScript itself. I'm a book buyer. I purchased a lot of books. I probably have more than a dozen books on JavaScript, and I'm going to share 2 or 3 things with you right now that will really help you. If I had known these things up front, I probably would have wasted a lot less time. The first book that you really would, it would benefit you if you have this book before you get to SDI, and that is the Rhino book. It's an O'Reilly book. It's called JavaScript: The Definitive Guide. It's a really big book. It's written by David Flanagan. It's not the kind of book that you're going to read from cover to cover. It's more of a reference. When you get to something that you don't understand, you pull out that book, and that book's going to break it down. I mean, everything that you could possibly learn about whatever topic you're having trouble with, it's going to break it down for you. When you get to the final week of SDI, where you have to do your regular expressions, the book has just a whole chapter on it that's going to lay it all out for you. You're going to be able to knock that out with no problem. Anyway, they call it the Rhino book. This is it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that book would benefit you greatly. The next book, and it's one that I didn't discover until I was well done with SDI, is a book by Nicholas Zachas, It's called Professional JavaScript for Web Developers, and that is the book that you're going to want to read cover to cover. It is the best, I mean, the absolute best reference that I've ever found. I picked the book up. I started reading it. The first chapter's kind of rough. It goes through the history of JavaScript, but just right in the second chapter, I started picking up things that I had missed during SDI, things that I was not familiar with that were probably in the textbook that I was given from school that I just missed. But once I started to discover some of those things, it just became, for me, I couldn't put it down. I kept reading it. Um, Again, that book, it's Professional JavaScript for Web Developers, and it really is all you need. This is the book, and I would urge you to go out and get this book as fast as you can and start reading it, because it is the best reference there is out there for JavaScript. With that said, there is a place on the internet called Code Academy. That's something that you're going to want to do as well. Code Academy is a great reference. It's a site where you'll go and learn things in a sequence, and as you do it, or as you learn the information, you read the information, you also do some programming, and gives it to you in little bitty bite-sized chunks. And there's 2 blocks in there on JavaScript. I would recommend starting that as soon as you can. I mean, the more you know when you get to SDI, it's going to be a piece of cake. So again, that's manage your time properly, get the right references, get the right material that you can consult, and you're going to be way ahead of the game. And I would say probably the last piece of advice I would give myself is, don't get caught up in the negativity. I mean, you're going to see things where people are going to get disgruntled over just different things, and it's real easy. Misery loves company, so it's real easy to get caught up in all of that. Just remember where you are while you're doing this. Keep pushing forwards and kind of push back away from that stuff. Keep your head right, and remember that the grass is green wherever you water it. So, again, don't get caught up in all of that stuff. Good luck to everybody, and thanks for watching.